Hello my dear students, I am Torres, Louise, Adrienne M. I will be your instructor for today. And today we will discuss about the school and community partnership. So what is the importance and purpose? Let us start by how can the community contribute to the schools? It is by helping the learning organizations and facilities in developing, enhancing, building, and expanding through donations and support. For example, donating school supplies or printers in the school, or helping the school in building some malfunctioning machineries or plumbing system. That is how the community can help the school. So next, how can the school contribute to the community? Other than providing education, their learning facilities can be used as venues by the community. Example, classrooms for organization meetings, basketball courts for local celebrations, and medical missions.
Here are some examples of community contributing to schools. First is reforestation. Second is remediation. Third is maintenance. For the fourth is cleanup drive. Fifth on the list is donations. And lastly would be seminar resource speaker.
Good evening everyone, I am Jenna Marcelino, your webinar speaker for today entitled A Message of Hope. According to Rizal, the youth is the hope of the people. So study hard, keep safe, and have faith.
The sociological and legal basis.
Sociological basis of school community partnership. According to functionalist theory, institutions must perform their respective functions for the stability of society. If failed, other institutions must come to do its part for the sake of society. This means that every institution has their own responsibility to help or to contribute to the community. Because in order for the society to be organized and stable, institutions must cooperate with them. It takes a village to educate a child. What does this quote mean? It means school cannot do it all. It is not the school's responsibility only. It has to work in partnership with the institutions in the community. Example, churches, government organizations, non-government organizations, families, etc. Now let's talk about the legal basis for parents and community involvement. Republic Act 9155, Governance of Basic Education Act. Section E, number 10. One of the responsibilities of school heads is establishing school and community networks and encouraging the active participation of teachers' organization, non-academic personnel of public schools, and parents, teachers, communities association. This means that everyone should be part, and the school heads must persuade the people of the community to be actively participating in the community partnership with the school. In section 3, letter F, local initiatives for the improvement of schools and learning centers and to provide the means by which improvements may be achieved and sustained. So this means that if local people in the community are initiated and actively participating in the community, this will help the learning organizations and the learning facilities such as the centers, the schools to be improved. Because without the community will be the reason why is the schools be developing and building and expanding in the society. In the same Republic Act, Section 3, letter D, educational programs, projects, and series take into account the interest of all members of the community. This means that programs or anything institution might have in their mind, communities should be part of it, or they are interested to be actively participating in it. So these ideas, the programs or the projects, should be in a proposal in every meetings with the community. Because if the community are not agreeing with this, it should not be pursued. Section 3, letter E. The schools and learning centers reflect the values of the community by allowing teachers or learning facilitators and other staff to be flexible to serve the needs of all learners. This means that the community should be agreeing that the facilitators will be the one who will help the education for their learners. In Section 3, letter F, local initiatives for the improvement of schools and learning centers are encouraged, and the means by which these improvements may be achieved and sustained are provided. So schools and communities function better when they work as a team. This just means that communities and the schools will do better if they work as a team. In order for the school to improve, the community will help it, and in order for the community to improve, the school will help it. Batas Pambansa, Building 232, Education Act of 1982, Section 7. I will no longer read this, but it is just about the schools or the learning institutions should be the one to provide the places and openly share their areas or like classrooms, basketball courts to their students and the community itself, so that some organizational meetings, medical missions, and celebrations will be held there, and they should be openly giving it to the community since it is under the Batas Pambansa Building 232 Education Act of 1982. Public Act 8525 Adopt a School Program Act. I will no longer read this because it's just about the non-government organizations or government organizations or other private entities to give assistance or help or donations to the schools. For example, during this time of pandemic, some of the schools, especially public schools, elementary or kindergartens or high school, are having modular learning. So they are not in online classes due to online classes are hard and not all students have gadgets. So these and private entities donated printers for the learning facilities. These printers will serve as the printing machine for the modules that the students will receive. The students will use this, and there are no longer struggle for the teachers or the faculty members to look for a printer that will help them print out modules that are in very many pieces. Philippine Education for All, or EFA 2015 plan. So what is this? I will no longer read it, but it is all about that everyone in the country, group of minority groups or disabilities or financial instabilities and other issues should have free education. So no one in the country are not allowed to take education, despite of having bad relationships or not good financial stabilities, etc. Everyone should continue and harness local resources. They should be part of these education and schools. So in the EFA 2015 plan was extended in education for all beyond 2015 agenda 2030. So it is by the UNESCO. It is by the UNESCO. So they expanded and everyone in the world, not just in the Philippines, will be having education for all. Before I end this lesson, I will leave this quote for the inspiration, for as inspiration and motivation for the future educators of today that are studying right now. And if you're watching this, you're probably part of it. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. By John Quincy Adams. Now that we're done, we're going to proceed with our recitation. What have you learned in my class? Questions. Number 1. What is your understanding of sociological and legal basis of school-community partnership? Anyone? Okay, someone raise their hand.
When we say sociological, this is dealing with questions or problems, especially focusing on cultural and environmental factors. And then when it comes to legal basis, this is the provisions that gives limitations to both teachers and students to avoid instances that may violate the rights of the two parties. When we put these two in school-community partnership, it is connected because when we say school-community partnership, this is a shared responsibility and reciprocal process whereby schools and other community agencies and organizations engage families in meaningful and culturally appropriate ways. Like sociological, school community is focusing on cultural and environmental factors, and also like legal basis, it is providing action or supplying something in two parties.
Very good. Now let's proceed to the next question. School and community partnership enhances sense of ownership and sense of belonging. What does this mean? Okay, you raised your hand.
The school and community partnership enhances sense of ownership and sense of belonging. What do this mean? Outside of school, students are interacting with their community on a daily basis. Making connections in the community gives the community members a sense of responsibility and ownership over students' learning, which leads individuals in taking a more active role in supporting their local schools.
Very good answer. Now let's proceed to the last question, number 3. How will this impact on schools and communities? What do you think? Any? Okay, you raise your hand.
How will this impact on the school and communities? The student can interact with their communities on a regular schedule outside of the school. Making community relations provides people a sense of accountability and interest about their children's education, which motivates them to help their fellow schools more actively.
Thank you for everyone's participation, and for you that is watching this, thank you for watching it. We hope you will have a great day, and thank you. Goodbye.